Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Sorry about that, my mic decided it did not want to work. Today is the final, the grand finale of the coloring corner tour. Um, we have all of the other stuff in the corner. I've covered all of the markers, the water-based as well as the alcohol, all of the colored pencils except for some that I forgot. So yeah, we'll be looking at those today, as well as other things that I use for backgrounds and accents and, basically everything else. So a really quick look here. This, of course, is my, let's see if you guys can see that. Yes. This, of course, is my pencil holder that my husband made for me. It's got schmutz on it. This holds um, 136 pencils, and it's very similar in design to the Mitsubishi Uni pencil case, except for it's of course not in a case, holds more pencils, and moves back and forth a lot easier. In the holder, I still have my Ayan Shan skin tones. And these are what I use when I do skin tones if the pencils I have don't have a good skin tone set. These are usually my go-tos for those skin tones. So I'm going to put those over there. These, of course, are all my sharpeners, and as you can see, they're, you know, getting kind of full. This is one of my favorite ones. This is the Deli Sweet Memory Sharpener, and it's got stuff in it. It works the same way that the Doll 133 works. You pop out the little thing, you put your pencil in, you turn the handle, and it sharpens. The one thing I do like about this, which is different from the Doll, I'm not quite sure if you can see that, but it isn't open here. So all of the shavings are well contained in the machine. This is, of course, the Doll 133, and it pops out. But as you can see, I can reach right into where all those shavings go. And I have actually accidentally dumped it while I was trying to sharpen. And it's the same thing. You turn the handle and it sharpens. You can take the sharpener out, give it a clean, pop it back in, pop it back in, maybe. I don't have it lined up right. Sometimes they're a little fiddly. You gotta line them up just right. Otherwise they won't go back in. There we go. And of course, both have the little dial on the back to make the sharp or blunt tips. This one here is the same sort of thing. It doesn't have the adjustments to make it have sharper tips or duller tips. This pops out so you can get to the sharpener itself. And this one here, you don't have to pop out the front. You just shove the pencil in, sharpen it, and then you turn it backwards and it actually walks the pencil out of the sharpener, which is cool. Another set of pencils that I had on my desk that I completely forgot about are my Studio 18 color Studio pencils. And these are a good pencil. They work quite well in the coloring books. It's only 18 pencils, so it's a nice small set for throwing in the purse or the backpack when you just want to throw a book in and a set of pencils in. This set here, which I also forgot to show y'all, is my Brunzeel design set. Now the Brunzeel design set comes in this little box, and it has little drawers. I'm going to move these over here so they're out of the way. But it has little drawers that hold the pencils. I do apologize. Just one moment. I'm going to actually stop the dog from barking. I think there might be a delivery. My husband did warn me that there would be some, so I'm just going to put you on hold here for just a second. All right, where were we? Sorry about that, guys. Always an interruption. My house is never quiet, I swear. Okay, so with the Brunzeel design set, it has little drawers that hold all your little pencils. Of course, some of mine have been sharpened down to quite small, but these are a lovely set of pencils. They're quite smooth. Of course, we have our light peachy tones into our reds and oranges and pinks and yellows, greens and blues and some more blues and purples and then our browns and grays. It's a very nice little set. It usually sits on my desk underneath this monstrosity here. So I forgot all about it. So that's three more sets of pencils that I completely forgot I had. So we're going to put those ones down there. And we'll put these ones, over here. All right, so this wonderful little case is holding, and it came in this case, so it holds all of my stubs for blending. And what I blend with these is in this big wooden case here. So I use this. It also comes with a eraser, well, a couple of erasers and a sharpening pad somewhere in there. But it comes with two different sets of stubs, all the same, so that if you use them up, you have a second set, which is great. And in this wonderful wooden case here, I have all my pastels. So here are my pastel pencils. These are one of the first set of pastel pencils I ever bought. And they're just a inexpensive set that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. And they work just wonderfully. They color very nicely. They spread very nicely. They're a little dustier than the pastel pencils I showed you on Tuesday or on Monday. But they still color really nicely, and they're very, very bright and well pigmented. This tray here, as you can see with the swatch charts that are there, it has my Paul Rubens, some of my Paul Rubens. This has the metallics as well as the pastel colors. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful, squishy, lovely. Just love them. Pastels, and I do use them. I use them for backgrounds. I have actually considered coloring an entire picture with them, which I might be doing sometime in the near future. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to make sure I put these back on here, otherwise I will forget, and then I won't have my swatch cards. In this one here, I have more Paul Rubens. This is the regular Paul Rubens set. And of course, it has our whites into our yellows and oranges, reds. It has the full spectrum of colors that you would need to color with. Over here, I've got all the tools that I use with my pastels, the different stumps, as well as some silicone spreaders and some um, glycerin and different little things that I use for the pastels. Um, each set comes with a wide variety of whites. Not quite sure why that pans there. But each set comes with a wide variety of whites. So I do have a lot of white pastels, which is fine because, white is always a good thing. And that is the Paul Rubens pastels. And pretty much it takes up two drawers. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. This one here is all my other pastels, my square pastel bricks. And I use these for backgrounds. I use a scraper to scrape it off onto a palette, and then I pick it up just like a pan pastel. These ones here are the same thing. They're just round and a little bit softer, more of an earthy tone. Same with these, they're round, and of course they've got these sky colors that I use. These ones here are, this one here is a Bronzeal pastel pencil. It's a lovely black, and as you can see just by what it's doing on my finger there, it is very pigmented and very, very soft. I have a couple of those. I have a Cretacolor as well, and this one is a U Brands chalk pencils, and that's what these ones here are U Brands. This one here is another Cretacolor. This one here broke, and I can't get it to re-solidify. And this one here is a Caran d'Ache pastel pencil. So I have some pastel pencils. Most of these came in a crate. These ones here I did purchase. They're not the best, but they do work. I just don't find that they smudge very well. And of course these are my smudgers. They're just a little finger dauber. You put it on your finger, you smudge the color around. And that is my pastel collection. So I'm going to pop these all back in. Each drawer, of course, has its own little slots and sits in there quite nicely. And they do come with these separators already installed, which is kind of cool. And like I said, I can fit a lot of stuff in these. I should have got a bigger one because, yeah, unfortunately, they're not deep enough to fit my pan pastels in. Otherwise, they'd be in there too. Speaking of pan pastels, this one here is the Pebbles Pearlescent Chalks. Let's see if I can open it without flinging it across the room. And I have used these for backgrounds as well as for eyeshadows and different things like that. It comes with this funky little clip to hold on to the little cotton balls that comes with it. I don't use it very often. I have tried it a few times. I just don't like it very much. The pastels work really well with a eyeshadow applicator, so I just use that. And then I got my pan pastels, so I haven't used these nearly as not enough since I got my pan pastels. And these are my pan pastels. This is the landscape set. This is a spare one that I got sent to me. It was all broken up, but it still works just fine. But this is the landscape set. And then this set here is the pearlescence and the metallics. Both are wonderful for backgrounds. I also have the colorless blender as well. I have room for more, so I need to get some more, but um, I'm not very fond of the metallics. I find them very lacking in pigmentation for backgrounds, but they do work really well for accents and stuff like that, just to add that little bit of shine on the page. And those are my pastels. I think that's all of the pastels, maybe. Yeah. Woohoo! Somebody did ask me about this wonderful creation. This is a full set of the Dewdrop inks or water drop inks. Um, these are June 6. This was created by my husband to hold the June 6. It doesn't hold the Versas very, very well. The Versas have a little bit of a different size in the footing, but it does hold the June 6 or the luxury very nicely, very securely. Like I can dump this. Whoop! Well, I could have dumped it upside down. I have done it before. For some reason today they said, no, no, don't do that. I just didn't have them popped in all the way. And basically you just pop the little feet into their little space and normally it holds on to them. But yeah, my husband created this, and as you can tell, he has done an entire set for me all in one color so that it all matches. So that's all my June 6 inks. I use these for backgrounds. I have colored with them as well to do a base layer. Stuff like that makes coloring water and, large areas a lot easier. And of course I use daubers or brushes for that. So speaking of brushes, this is something that I use with my pan pastels as well as the inks. And another thing that I will be showing you here in just a minute. And this is all my brushes. Well, not all of them, but most of the brushes I use. This is the type of brush I use. You can get what they call an ink blending brush that is a little bit softer, I think. I'm not quite sure. I don't have them. I find these makeup brushes work just fine. And I have a couple of sets of these. I have the ones with the rose gold, but I also have a flat black one. And I find that they work really well for both the inks as well as the pastels, as well as the crayons, which I'll be showing you in a moment once we find them under all this stuff. The next thing I have in the corner that I use for accents and wonderful jewels and gems and sparkles are my Ranger stickles and liquid pearls. My husband also printed me these stands for stickles and liquid pearls. This will hold these little bottles. I also have two of the Nuvo that I picked up at a hobby shop here in town. Unfortunately, the Nuvo are too big, but it does fit the June 6, which is perfect, or not the June 6, the stickles, the Ranger small bottles, which is basically more than I have. So I've got stickles and liquid pearls in here. And like I said, I use them on most things, and I have a wide variety of colors because my husband bought them for me for Christmas and then designed this wonderful holder for them so that I can see each and every little bottle and see what colors I have as I need them. Those are things that stay on my desk so that I can grab them as soon as I need them. They're within eyesight so I don't forget I have them, and I can use them as often as I need. Okay. Another thing that I bought at the little shop that I bought these at is this wonderful little thing that I haven't gotten a chance to use yet. And this is the Copic Air Grip airbrush. So it's a aerosol paint brush. I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet. I may use it at some point. I haven't decided how to use it. I'm a little afraid. This is another thing of all my tools. This has some little droppers so that you can make little spots for your highlights and your eye dots. It has blenders on the end for your oil pastels and that sort of thing. This is also used for small dots, and you can do small dots, medium or small, really small, medium small, A little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, and all the way up to very large. Now these, I found these on sale really cheap, and I didn't buy them. I put them on my wish list and they arrived. And I thought I reviewed them, but after going through my videos, I don't think I did, but I will. It also comes with some wonderful little paint brushes, a really tiny little dotter, a little pin dot, which is great, as well as some really cool little tiny paint brushes, which are great for doing those small accent areas. Fantastic little set of tools. This one here was sent to me by a friend. Also a great little tool full of little shinies. It's got shinies. I like shinies. And it works really, really well. This set of brushes I bought for my watercoloring stuff because it has some really good long bristle brushes and it has a nice triangular grip. And I keep the little plastic doodads on them the best I can so that I don't ruin them. And of course I have a little holder tray here for them. Not full, but working on it. Another thing that is on my desk at all times. This is a caddy that I bought ages and ages and ages ago that I keep on my desk with all of the things that I use on a regular basis, like my erasers, my water pens, my white gel pens, pencil erasers, different little pens and brushes, and that's usually where my big brush is, but it's not in there right now. And another set of pencils that a friend sent to me. These are the Derwent Lightfast. It's not a full set, it's just a few of them that she had extra, so she sent them to me. These ones here are the Graphitint. These were sent to me in a sketch box. All wonderful pencils. Alright, so that's another thing that stays on my desk. And another thing she sent me are these wonderful little stamps that work really nice. This is what I use for my pan pastels for the backgrounds. You take a little spot. I also use it for my inks. And you pop it on there and you rub it around and it turns everything the color you want it to be. And that one fell down. There we go. And I keep it in the cotton swab box. Alright, so that's everything that I keep normally on my desk. So now we're going to take a look at some things that I keep hidden in the drawer unit next to my desk. This is the Rubbermaid drawer unit that I keep next to my desk. And these are the things that I keep in it. This drawer, ay, ay, ay. Just checking to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing here. It has my little brush markers as well as the Zig fine liners and different things that I got in my sketch boxes. This is a Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer watercolor marker, and it has a really good brush tip as well as a bullet nib. Really good markers. These are the Jane Davenport watercolor brush markers. This is the Mermaid markers, and they are fantastic. They are so bright, and definitely when you store them, you need to store them upright like this. Otherwise, you do get a pooling in the top. That pooling is just there since this morning because normally I keep them standing upright. but I put them in the bucket because I forgot I had them. These are just little dots. You don't need to worry too much about those. These are some wonderful little stamps that I was sent by my friend, and I have used them with some metallic paints. This one is a wonderful little paint set that I was also sent. It has a little finger holder on the back, and then it opens up, and they are some beautiful, beautiful, shiny colors. And I have done the white card as well as the black card so that I definitely know what colors there are. It has a wonderful little palette that you can mix your paints on, and I have put most of their little stickers back on them. I must have missed one. Which one's this? One or two or three? I've missed a few. I think this is the blue. This one goes on there. But they're all very, very shiny, very pretty. Wonderful, wonderful little paint set in a fantastic little metallic, or metal, I should say, paint pan. Also comes with 3 wonderful little water brushes and the velvet satchel. Wonderful little paint set. These ones here, another, oh no, these are my iridescent, my glow-in-the-dark paints. These are a glow-in-the-dark for fluorescent paint, and I have used these on a coloring. You paint it onto your coloring, and it actually does glow in the dark and lights up under black light. It is really cool to play with. Almost forgot I had those. Next is this wonderful set of paints here. I don't think that one goes to that. These are the opal colors that Ray enabled me to buy. They are wonderful. They're a wonderful opal color with different hues in them. So when you color with them, when you paint with them, you get a pinky color, a copper color, a gold, a green, a blue, and a purple, and it fantastic for wings. Absolutely wonderful for wings. So as you can probably tell, this is more of my watercolor drawer than anything else. This is the golden satin glazing liquid. I also have the gesso. So these are both liquids that you glaze your page with to get it ready for watercoloring. Let's see. This one here is the different Daniel Smith and that sort of thing, small paint tubes that I was sent to fill my paint palettes with. These were sent to me by a wonderful subscriber to the channel that sent me some absolutely fantastic things for my birthday, and I appreciate each and every one of them. And these are the Poetique watercolor brushes. These are really cool. Absolutely fantastic colors in them, and I have swatched them. I just don't have my swatches. But yeah, they're a really nice set. It of course tells you the color. So this is light fluorescent pink, number 12, and it has a wonderful little brush nib there. And these are a rubbery brush nib. They're not like a paintbrush nib, so they don't fray or separate when you're using them, which is really cool. Great little set of paint markers or paintbrush markers. And like I said, they're the real one of the better sets of real brush pens that I have. One of the better sets. The next brush marker set that I like is in the next bin. um, these both are the Spectrum Noir Sparkle pens. This one here is, what set is this? Spring and Summer, which I purchased a while ago. Let's see if I can open these without dumping them. The one thing I really like about these cases is it holds all of your markers tight in there. You don't lose them. This one here hasn't been activated, so when you get them, they all have this little yellow ring on there. You take off the top, remove the yellow ring, stick it back in, shake it up, and you're good to go. And it's just like any other watercolor marker. It has a little push area there so that you can push the paint out. This is a water-based product. So if you are to use it with your colored pencils, make sure that your colored pencils are secured either with a sealant or that they're not water soluble. Otherwise, they will run if you use these markers on them. I use them for accents, or if I want to just color things very, very sparkly, because these are extremely sparkly. This one here is the Christmas one, the holiday special. My husband bought me this one for Christmas last year before last, and it has all of the wonderful Christmassy colors in it. Absolutely gorgeous set. This one here that I haven't opened yet is clear because I already have a clear one open in the other package. So those are my Spectrum Noirs. These are a really nice set of glitter pens. They have a brush nib on one end as well as a thicker brush on the other end. So this side here has a really thin brushy nib, and this side here has a thicker brushy nib. This one here is more of a bullet, where this one here is definitely a brush. And the colors on these are just absolutely fantastic. I'm going to utilize the note just to show you the color of them. So this is of course the copper, and just pretty. Absolutely pretty. Another set of little markers that I almost forgot I had. Isn't that fun? And of course it has the brush ones and the colored ones as well as a clear. So you can just blend it or just color clear. This is all in foreign languages basically, so just trying to see if there's anything that tells you in English what each one is, and I'm not seeing it other than the fact that it says marker in English. But it does have a good color swatch down here as well as on the back. And like I said, if you can read Asian, I think they're Chinese because it's made in China. Professional gel ink pen, and they're done by Dalmi. Very nice colors, very, very, very metallic and sparkly. This, of course, is just some paintbrushes. I'm just going to flip those all over the place. Here we have some different Daniel Steele or Daniel Smith water pans, paint pans. And I have a green one in here somewhere that came in my sketch box. And I think these ones here are blue and purple. This one here is another set of pencils. This is a set of Sketchbox signature watercolor pencils, and I have used them a couple of times, not very often, but they do work quite nicely, and they're very pretty. And I just love the little tin. Great thing for when you want to um, color on the go with watercolor. Now this one here, this palette here, is from this box of paints, and it is another metallic set of paints, and as you can see they're very, very metallic, and it goes this way, and you get a really good amount of glittery goodness in them. I just love that purple. That holographic purple is just so cool. Wonderful set of paints. Comes with a paintbrush, and I don't remember the name on this one. It's not marked anywhere on it. It was just a generic, inexpensive set of paints because I wanted to try the sparkliness. These are, of course, just little cards so that I can swatch on. Uh, this one here is the Cretacolor um, Aquagraph. So they're graphite um, colored pencils that are activated by adding water. I have not used these. These did come in my sketch box. And of course it comes with a little pocket case and a sleeve. On the sleeve, of course, it gives you all the information. Another thing that I received in my sketch box. Another wonderful paintbrush. We're getting down to the bottom. And this is just mainly all my paint brushes and water brushes and palettes, as well as a couple of crayons. And these, of course, are gel crayons, just like the King Arts. These ones here are done by Marabou, and they're quite nice as well. They're terracotta and caramel, and they work really, really nicely. This is I think it's Parcours. Hold on a sec. Pagos, that's what it is. This is the Pagos watercolor set that Pagos sent me to review. And it's a 36 color paint set. This is created for students. It is a student grade paint set. It comes with 36 colors, and it has a really good selection of colors. It also comes with a book of watercolor paper, which has 10 sheets of paper so you can practice, as well as, the small colors there. Has a pencil so that you can draw your lines and whatnot, a paint pen as well as a paintbrush, a sharpener as well as a water sponge so you can keep your dabbers wet. Really nice, very, very pigmented set of colors. I didn't have any problems watering, painting with them, and it has a very wide selection of colors in it, from our whites into our yellows, oranges, pinks and purples, reds, browns, blues, greens, grays, and that sort of thing. Very, very nice set. Definitely created for students. I did I did state in my review of them last year before last, that I felt they were um, something that even a seasoned artist would enjoy using. Pagos did message me after I stated that and said that this is a student grade product, so they can't guarantee the light fastness or anything like that. But They're a 2B grading pencil as well as a sharpener, 36 watercolor pans, and a synthetic brush. But it is actually a very, very good cost-effective um, paint set for any beginner. Or if you just want to paint and don't want to buy the expensive stuff. Like me, because I don't want to buy the expensive stuff because I'm terrible at painting. So that is that drawer, and that is my watercolor drawer. Yes, I have an actual watercolor drawer because I do so much watercoloring. But I do try. I don't do nearly as much as I want to because I'm afraid of it. And that's the only reason, is I'm terrified of it. I don't want to screw it up. And I know I will, so I don't play with it as often as I should. I'm just going to pop these all back in nice and tight and neat so that I can put it back in its place. And then I have one more drawer to show you, and that is almost the end of the tour. Amazing, huh? I'm amazed. I only, well, I'm not going to go through all my coloring books because that would just take another 20 or so years. Because, yeah, I got a few of those. But we will go through this final drawer here, which is, this one here can go down here for now. And this final drawer is all my crayons and a few other things. Okay, I think you guys can see that okay? All right. So, the palettes, of course, we need palettes for crayons. And these ones here are my AFAN, environmentally friendly, non-toxic, 48 colors, water-soluble gel crayons for children. These were created for children, as you can tell with the wonderful little graphics on them. They're so cute! And they work the same way that the King Arts do. They turn up and use color with them. This one here is gold. I don't know if you can see the little sparkles in it, but it has little sparkles in it. But you color with them or use them the same way that you do the King Arts. And I bought these because I didn't want to buy the King Arts and hate them because they were expensive. These were cheap. These were very, very budget friendly. Unfortunately, they're no longer available on Amazon. Otherwise, I would link them because they were very, very budget friendly. However, they do have on Amazon a wonderful little children's set done by Sargent Arts or Shuttle Arts, one or the other, that is actually really cute too. Not as cute as these ones, but very, very, very useful if you don't want to buy the King Arts when they're not on sale. When the King Arts are on sale, it's actually not a bad price. But if you want a thinner crayon, because these are like half the width of the King Art, which are great. All right, so then we have the King Arts. So we have all of the King Arts. And the King Arts are also a gel crayon. This is a thicker gel crayon. And these ones here, I think, are the metallics. And then we have the pastels. And I'll show you one of the King Arts here. if you haven't seen them already previously. These are the King Art gel crayons. Looks kind of like a lipstick, and it just spins out. You scribble it on your palette. You pick it up with your brush, or you can also scribble it on your page and pick it up with some water. Works very, very nicely either which way. And just beautiful. They're called a mixed media gel stick, and they work really, really nicely. And I have 6 trays of those. They do come in their own trays. And of course, you can use the top of the tray. So if you don't have a palette and you want to use your gel sticks, you just pop open your tray, and the top of the tray is a palette. You can use this top of your tray to use your colors. It just wipes right out. It's just a plastic tray. You don't actually need to buy a palette. Um, of course, I've got my spreaders and other palette knives here in case I want to get all fancy dancy. Doesn't happen very often. This is my little grippies for my cell phone holder. Why they're in there, I don't know. Oh, there's my other palette. As you can see, I didn't wash it that last time I used it, but I used it for acrylics, so it doesn't matter. It's on there now. And then we have this stuff here, which is the gum arabic. When you're using things like pigment powder, you need the gum arabic to create a paint with it. And then we have our brush markers from King Art. These are 48 lovely brush markers. These ones here, I do believe, unlike the others, these ones here are more of a brush. So as you can see, it separates a little bit. Unlike the Pluquee, or not the Pluquee, what are they called? Other than the ones that I just showed you, these ones here are more of a brush pen, where it's an actual fibered brush, not a rubber nib. A wonderful set of paints, though. Wonderful set of brushes. They don't have any names or numbers on them. That is visible, which is kind of one of their downfalls. And that's one of the reasons why I keep them in the box, so that I can find them. On the back of the box, it tells you all their colors and their color names and everything else. And it has numbers on the swatch, so I feel that there should be numbers on the pen somewhere as well. I just haven't found it, which is possible. I am a little daft sometimes, but I'm not seeing any numbers on there. So unless it's on the lid where I can't see it, I'm not seeing it there either, which would kind of be silly. I don't see where their numbers are, so I don't believe that there are numbers or names on the brush pens themselves. But it does give you a starting point, so you can actually number them yourselves and match them up with other parts of their coloring family. So the King Arts does have many different parts of their coloring family. They have colored pencils, they have watercolor pencils, they have the brush pens. Let's see if I can get the lid back on it. They have these brush pens, but they also have these brush pens, which are a 48 set of dual tip brush pens with a brush pen and a fine marker. The fine marker is more of a bullet nub, not a fine tip. Like a not a fine liner kind of tip. But these do have their names and numbers on them. So if you're trying to match up, say, a brush pen to your marker, you can definitely, I do believe, match up those numbers. So let's take a look. So this is 112 orange. And they don't have 112 orange in here. No, yeah, 012 orange. So the one is for the fact that these are the dual brush tip pen, and the 12 is for the orange. And you can match it up to this 012 orange. I do believe. Let's take a look and verify that. Lemon 05 105. So the 1 is for the fact that it's the brush dual brush tip. The 0 on this one is because it's the brush pens. So they do match up their color numbers and names. So if you're using these, you can use these with them and still have a good match in color and brand number and so forth. I'm just going to put the lid on it so I can flip it over for you so I can show you the back of the box. And there's 48 in here, and they're not that horribly priced. And they have the same information on the back. It tells you all about their family, all about the pens themselves, everything else, as well as gives you the information for each color. So black is 004 on this one, as 104 on this one. And I do believe that they also match up to your color pencils. So you can definitely find your color pencil color in there as well. I'm just going to take a look and see if it match up to the gel sticks too. Just try to find an orange. Orange or lemon yellow. Definitely not there. Okay, so orange. Yes, so they do match up on there as well. This one is GS004, which, oh, that's 12. So no, they don't match up. Okay. So the gel sticks don't match up. Because, let's see, lemon yellow, and it's 36, not 5. So the numbers on the gel sticks don't match up, but the 2 sets of pens definitely do, which is cool. And I gotta turn that so that I can get these other things in here properly. There we go. And that is my gel sticks and all the other gel pens and water brush pens and all of the watercolor stuff, all the things that I use for backgrounds and that sort of thing. Of course, the palettes, we use those constantly. I also have a Caran d'Ache palette that I use for inks and watercolor pencils and that sort of thing. Just going to tuck everything back into its box so that I don't lose anything. And that is the end of the tour of my coloring corner. Of course, we do have a huge amount of coloring books as well, but I'm not going to go through those. Um, that's just way too many and way too boring. So I hope that you have enjoyed the walk through all of the things in the corner. Of course, I have found things that I forgot I had. I have found things that I should have thrown out and that sort of thing. But you know, it has been fun and I have enjoyed myself. I hope you have as well. And I hope I have enabled you into, you know, wanting to know more about some of these things. If you do want to know more about anything that I have shown you that I have in the corner, you can definitely message me. For those of you that wanted to know more about the storage units for the inks as well as the stickles. They are listed in the community page. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the community page, it will give you the information for those units and how to buy them because they are for sale. My husband does print them for me, and I do sell them to raise funds for the channel. And I'm just going to grab one more thing that I completely forgot about. Let's see if I can reach it without making a mess. Nope. Crud. I made a mess. All right. See, I keep on finding things, and I just completely made a mess of myself. All right, so one of the other things that I completely forgot about because I don't use it nearly enough, and my husband created this thing for me so that I would use it more, and that's my washi tape. I have washi tape. And what washi tape is a little bit of masking tape with all different pretty colors on it and little pretty pictures. And you can either use it as edging or you can use it as, decorations on your pictures, that sort of thing. All wonderful, wonderful. My husband created this for me to hold all the washi tapes so that I can get to them easily. Wonderful, wonderful. There. Okay, that's it, I think. Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to find any more, I promise. All right, guys, thank you all very much for joining me. I hope that you have had a wonderful time. Like I said, if you do want to purchase any of the things my husband has created, just scroll to the very bottom of the community page, and there is some store things there. If you want to join us over on Facebook, please make sure that you fill out the application form. There's like 3 little questions that we do ask that everybody fill out, otherwise they don't get accepted into the Facebook group. And of course, that link is in the description below the video. Another way that you can help support the channel and help me continue with providing more content and more things to enable you with. You can, of course, hit that join button. What that join button does is gives you the information on all of our memberships and all of the perks of membership. Definitely helps out support the channel as well as raise some funds for some of our giveaways as well as different prizes and other packages that we have available throughout the year. Um, Other than that, guys, I want you to remember to relax, color, and stay safe. I hope to see you all this afternoon during our live show for Work in Progress Wednesday. All right, guys, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. All right, guys, bye bye for now.